Okay, this is Cody, and he just testified in front of the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday, October 18th, 2011, about his experience in the encampment. He's a 24/7 camper at Occupy San Francisco. And Cody, could you want to just call yourself Cody?
Yes.
Okay. Could you explain what happened to you, and then I will ask you questions after that. Just tell us what happened.
Sunday night, Monday morning, the police showed up and told us they were going to enforce the curfew, that the park closes at 10 and that no one could be there after 10. They showed up right before 12 a.m. and they showed up in riot gear, riot masks, and batons. And we formed a crowd to try to stop them, but more cops came from around and started tearing down our tarps and everything. They surrounded all our stuff and started tearing it all around and throwing it into a truck. And once they had all our stuff, all of us protesters went into the streets and surrounded the truck and wouldn't let the vehicles leave. And the cops were very violent. They were pushing people, throwing people. I witnessed them pushing two females, so I got in between the police officers and the females. At that point, the police officers were telling us to move back, move back. No one would move back, and next thing I know, they said, okay, get this guy. Next thing I know, there were 2 or 3 of them on top of me, hitting me, and I was on the floor, and the crowd was trying to pull me away from them. The police officers eventually dragged me out of the crowd, dragged me onto the street, and next thing I know, there was a knee on my head, and the other side of my head hit the asphalt. I was then cuffed with zip ties and placed in a police van with 2 other gentlemen and 1 female. It took about 40 more minutes for the police van to get away from the rest of the protesters outside because they would not let it leave. After that, we were taken to the police department. We were searched. They took all of our possessions, put them in envelopes as if we were going to be processed and arrested. We were put back into the van, and then we were cited and released. And I was cited for obstructing traffic and delaying a police officer.
And what do you think of that citation, Cody?
I think it's complete BS.
Were you? Did you feel at any time during this that you were obstructing a police officer, or doing what the charges accused you of?
They were the ones who originally brought the vehicles into the street and blocked off the traffic. And the other thing is they were violating our basic human rights and constitutional rights. So no, I did not feel that way at all.
Do you mind telling us your age?
I'm 19 years old.
And have you been occupying there full-time since September 17th?
No, not since September 17th. Probably since the 23rd or 24th.
Why did you come down to the encampment? And by the way, was this just in Herman Plaza?
No, this was, the day I got here was the day we started camping at the Federal Reserve the first night. And I came by because I've been waiting for a movement like this for a few years now.
Why have you been waiting for a movement like this for a few years now?
Just because I've been into how our economy really works, the economics of it, and how the system itself is failing us. And yeah, I've just been interested in economics and politics for a very long time now.
What particular political issue disturbs you the most?
The fact that money buys politics. If you have money, then you have influence.
Did you suffer any physical damage from this?
I mean...
Were you bleeding? Did you...
Bleeding, no. Bruises on my body, yes. I'm still sore, and this happened Monday morning. My head still hurts when I touch it, my whole arm. My wrist still hurt from being cuffed so tightly. But no real visible marks or like no bleeding. I didn't have to be hospitalized or anything.
Okay, so this happened Monday morning. This is Tuesday afternoon.
Yes.
So at your age, hopefully you'll heal quickly.
Yes.
And can you tell us what if there were other people who were, I understand there was a woman who was dragged. It was also reported that somebody experienced critical injuries. or serious injuries. Did you observe that? Do you know anything about that?
I did not observe that. I was arrested pretty early. One gentleman I know, I'm not going to divulge his name, but
Sure.
did suffer a broken rib. And a female I know, I have seen videos online of her being dragged for a very long distance.
But you didn't observe that there.
Yeah, I did not observe that there.
Did you observe their taking down of the tents?
Yes, and we didn't have any tents up even though we wanted them. We only had tarps that were completely open-ended, like easy up canopies like that street vendors use. And they took it down, not just took it down, but made sure to break and destroy it as they were taking it down.
And I saw the video too, and they were apparently taking food. Did you observe that?
Yes, they took our food and our medical supplies. All this happened before they threw it in the truck and we rushed to the streets. So I observed all of that.
Okay. And this was the first wave, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And were you there for the second wave?
No,
or by that time were you sitting in the van?
Yeah, I was sitting in the van by that time. It may not have left the protest area yet, but I wasn't really sure.
Do you have anything else that you'd like people to know about this assault that happened at the hands of the SFPD?
Only that the police right now, it seems, are serving corporations and those with money rather than the people who they're supposed to be serving.
Okay. Do you have any idea what they hope to accomplish with this attack? Any speculation about that?
We think they just want us gone, but we don't intend to leave anytime soon. This is an indefinite occupation.
And will you be staying there?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully I'll see you down there then.
Okay.
Thank you, Cody, so much for letting us know what your eyewitness account of what happened. Really appreciate it.